Barnstable, Lenexa to Lee Summit. You're listening to Mundo in the Morning on 95.7 FM, KCMO Talk Radio.
Wrapping up the show with Keatsman Uncanceled's coming up at 10 o'clock on KCMO Talk Radio. Dolly Parton, any part of your childhood or young adulthood? What was it?
The first thing I remember was 9 to 5, the movie.
Okay.
I didn't know any of her songs. My parents weren't all that musical. My dad listened to Willie Nelson and Johnny Cash in his truck. My mom would put whatever my siblings wanted on AM radio. In those days, it was WHB Top 40. They invented Top 40 on WHB.
Is that right? John Anthony knows that.
WHB invented Top 40.
How about that? I did not know that.
Right.
That's
news
news
to
me.
The first 24-hour top 40 station.
And that was 710.
Okay, 710 WHB.
710.
Okay.
Right here on this frequency.
We need a radio history museum in this town.
Well, haven't we talked about this?
Yeah.
You're the guy to do it.
Oh, really?
Yes, I think we volunteered you.
I'm so popular. Everybody in radio loves me. Maybe Dana Wright will help me out a little bit.
You can tag team it together.
Lord.
You know,
Come on, Dana, help me out a little bit.
Kumbaya moment. All right?
She was all upset at Callaway Golf yesterday, I guess.
I know.
But what in the world?
I know.
Because a woman got pushed in an acting scene. Oh, we can't have that.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to go down that. But
No.
yeah, I know the radio thing. Dolly Parton was like 9 to 5 came out. And you could go see it. It was pretty family friendly, and it was just funny. Was that Dabney Coleman, John?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
God, he was for about 5 years white hot brilliant in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody knew Dolly could act. I don't think. I didn't really know her. I just knew like this country thing that we didn't listen to. But then after the movie, you're like, wow, you realize she just played herself in the movie. Like Sean said earlier, it was easy for her to act. She just was herself.
So for your generation, was that like the moment? Was it the movie that launched her into that stratosphere?
Yeah, she was just a celebrity to me. I never bought any of her records or heard her music. My mom's favorite of all time was Kenny Rogers, and she worked a lot with Kenny Rogers. And we went and saw Kenny Rogers. I took my mom a couple times, and she would talk about and lament how great he was with Dolly when they performed together. They did a couple of duets, I think, together. But the music was never the thing. For me, it was the, Johnny Carson appearances or David Letterman or things like that. She did a top 10 one time on David Letterman that was pretty funny. Things that peeved me off. And one of her things, I forget how they phrase it. It was literally funny today because they refer to Dolly Parton as they, meaning her breasts. It was hysterical.
That's amazing.
And she was there giving the top 10. From like Dollywood. So there's just so many things about her. She was a great philanthropist and an American. And, I think it'd be interesting to ask Jason Sudeikis someday if he models Ted Lasso after her in any way. Because Ted Lasso seems to me is like the male Dolly Parton. Doesn't have a bad day. Always smiling, always up, always makes people around him feel good. Right? You guys see the similarities or not?
Yeah, I could see what you're saying there.
I see that.
Yeah.
All right.
There's very few characters like that.
Here's Dolly Parton on with Johnny Carson. We played this earlier this morning. Here it is.
Pretty well blessed. People are always asking if they're real. And
I would never. I would
I don't
never, you see.
No, you don't have to ask.
I would not.
I tell you what, these are mine.
I have certain guidelines on this.
I usually say,
But I would give about a year's pay to peek under there.
First off, I'm not sure you can do that stuff today. Now we got Jimmy Kimmel crying about, George Floyd on late night TV, and that's what it was back with Johnny Carson. Boy, times have changed, huh?
Yeah, that was great. I played on my podcast today, not at the very top, but right toward the beginning when we remembered Dolly, about a 3-minute clip from The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson where she was on there after 9 to 5. So she'd made it mainstream, like not just country people knew her. And he'd had her on many times, and they were good friends, apparently. And, a lot of Hollywood people they liked people from Tennessee back then. It was just different than it is today. And so she's on there, and she makes fun of him. She said, "You told me that if I ever made it big, I'd never come back here." And he goes, "Oh, well, it's great to have you back." And she goes, "What do you mean? I'm here more than you are." This is the part of his career when he was starting to take a whole bunch of time off. And she wrote a song about being on the Carson show and helping her career, and I played that today on the podcast.
Great.
So if you want to hear that, it's a little-known clip. It's about 3 minutes long. It's at KevinKeatsmanHasIssues.com.
That's awesome. Yeah, and that's reminiscent of something I saw last night where she was being interviewed by Barbara Walters, and Barbara Walters could not have been more obnoxious. Like, are you a hillbilly? What do you hillbillies do?
What was that all about? Was it just...
It was from 1977, and I thought it was a terrible look for Barbara Walters.
It sounds like it.
It's like she's like, yeah, I'd kick you in the shins, Barbara, if you called me a hillbilly back in the day, but I'm not going to do it right now. And she handled it with total grace. But I'm like, It's like she was interviewing someone from Mars. It was the strangest thing and really kind of offensive, you know?
You know, it's funny because people now, it's almost a term of endearment, hillbilly.
Yes.
Like Scott Fawn calls himself a hillbilly.
Yeah, hillbilly from the boot heel.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean, he's like, I'm a hillbilly. Who was the politician guy down in Springfield that was on?
Billy Long.
Billy Long.
Yes.
He first himself as a hillbilly, right?
Yes.
Real
yes.
hillbilly. His name's Billy.
Yeah.
I think there was a sensitivity then. People from the South now are just really comfortable in who and what they are. They're like, we're proud of this.
Well, but think about this, right? Like Barbara Walters would never sit down with a rap star and be like, so you're from the hood. You're a thug, right?
Yeah,
like
touché.
that would never happen.
Right.
But with Dolly, with the South, with the culture, it was okay to, and it still is kind of more okay to say that than be like, so tell me about your thug upbringing. What was that like?
Because hillbillies are white. You can say anything you want.
Well, there you go. That's exactly it. And that's disappointing
It
as
was
much
more
as
of a
anything else.
meow thing because Dolly was a facade, right? And she talked about her hair and, her appearance. And so I think Barbara thought she was being quite pro-feminist, I think, and trying to poke at the facade.
Gosh.
Did you see how she wanted to be laid to rest?
No.
On I guess it's going to be in a casket. It's going to be a private family thing. On just a bed, a big, giant, fluffy bed of cotton. Not like a real bed. Just fill the casket with real cotton. Wow. And lay me in there, like from the earth, like just cotton.
How about that?
Yeah.
That's
some
crazy.
hillbilly in that.
Yeah, there is. I just love, the all-American story, 4th of 12 kids. Uncle gets her a guitar, helps her kind of start her music career, and, before you know it, she's off to the races and is an American icon. I love that, man.
It's great.
It's
Filled
everything.
with life.
Everything.
God bless her.
What do you got coming up here?
So at the start of the show today, we're going to have a little bit of fun on the U.S. fun. It's a stress fun.
Yeah.
The USS Abraham Lincoln has been taken out of near the Strait of Hormuz. Mm-hmm. Are you guys aware of where it's going?
I did not see where it's going.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell everybody where it's going.
Okay.
You want to be on that ship. The boys are going on vacation. No. They're going on the vacation. They're pulling in like today. And it's going to be wild, and we're going to apologize to the country where they're dropping them off.
Okay. All right. I like that.
It's crazy. You won't believe this. It started during the Vietnam War. Wait for it. It's great.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Royals going to make it 10 straight tonight?
Maybe. If they do, Mark has the greatest prediction of all time because they sucked when he said they'd do it. There's only 3 longer streaks this year. Royals are tied for 4th for the longest streak with 9. But come on, they're not making the playoffs.
They sweep the Jays. Go to Cleveland. Let's have some fun.
I'll give you 10-1 on a day off. You get a day off if you win. I get 10 days off if I win.
All right. I'm not answering that. Here's the stat. The Royals are the first AL team since the 1989 White Sox to win 8+ straight home games after entering the streak at least 24 games below 500. The only AL team to extend a streak to 9 was the 1910 White Sox. They entered that 9-game stretch 51-80. So you got to go back to 1910 to find that team.
Well, there's only 2 teams in the American League worse than the Royals, and they were part of the streak. That's who they were playing.
Yeah, the A's and the Angels. Yes, that's right. Okay.
They're not playing the Dodgers.
No. Hey, Blue Jays and Guardians, they have a good week. Let's see what happens, man. But hey,
bring the Indians back. Bring the Redskins back.
Bring the Indians back. Bring the Redskins back.
Redskins are back, sort of. We'll talk about that on the show.
Ooh, all right. Yeah. There you go. Good teaser to wrap it up. Have a good hour, man. Kevin Kiesman Uncanceled is coming up next on KCMO. Then it's the Vince Show, and then we're in for Guy Benson coming up at 2 o'clock right here on KCMO Talk Radio.